Our next guest spent a long time in the NFL, one of the best analysts you are going to find on social media and elsewhere. Also an analyst for ESPN, going to be calling games, I'm told, 7 nights a week now. They're actually having him do a different game every single night. Chase Daniel is with us. Chase, look at that. Look at the welcome from the boys in studio right here. I'm not going to ask you to break down FIU, any Conference USA action today, but let's start out by something I saw you posted on social media earlier today saying, I really don't get the discourse regarding Josh Allen. I now give you the floor. Spicy. You've got more than 280 characters on this show, sir. Tell me what it is you're seeing that people are getting wrong about Josh Allen, particularly last night when that wasn't anybody's best for Buffalo.
Yeah, look, I just think in general, Buffalo, the last 2 games have not been playing well. But here's my thing. Like, do we really think come January that Josh Allen, who is the MVP, and that room with James Cook and Joe Brady, who we praised all that, do we not think they're going to not be around? Like, right. I do. And so, like, just slow the roll. Like, the teams they lost at the Patriots, they're pretty freaking good. Okay, they're a good team. And this Atlanta team, they're starting to find their stride as well. Defensively, they just couldn't protect Josh Allen last night, like offense. And so when I'm watching people really on X and just in general on social media and some analysts, like, just slow the roll on Josh Allen. Like, he's an MVP for a reason. Now, I will say the interceptions have started creeping up, right? They're 4 in the last 3 games. But it's not like they're becoming one-dimensional. And I think that was sort of the issue a couple of years ago before they went to Joe Brady, is they really were one-dimensional. I'm looking at these, passing attempts in the 5 games or 6 games this year. There's only been once where he's thrown it over 31 times. And so they're not asking him to do a lot, but it's really hard when he needs some receivers to make plays for him, and they're not there. Yes, of course, he's forcing the football in some areas, but let's just calm down. They're still 4-2 the last time I checked, and they're still one of the better teams in the AFC. They just lost back-to-back games, and I think this discourse around Josh Allen is like, let's just remember who he is, and that's a top 2 or 3 quarterback in the league.
We also kind of get comfortable, and we get used to the idea that, hey, they're down by a bunch of points, they're going to score 40. In a game like that last night, the Bills' defense, especially in the first half, and it would have been even worse if Drake London doesn't step out at the 1-yard line, but they didn't have answers for that Falcons offense. And I thought, you go way deeper into this than I do, Chase, but I thought for the people who might have gotten glimpses of Michael Penix Jr. in that Week 3 game at Carolina where they get shut out, and he is legitimately terrible in that game. Yep. We saw last week and then in this one as well. This seems like this is what you're hoping to find if you're the Falcons looking at Michael Penix Jr.
Absolutely. And you know what? It really helps when you have Bijan Robinson. And he is just a freak of nature. Like, you're going to look in November, and just the way he's playing right now, he's like a true outside zone runner, but he does these like jump cuts where it's just like, I'm watching the game and I'm listening to Dan Orlowski call it, and I'm like, man, Dan is all over it, but he just looks like the best running back in football, because he is the best running back in football. And he's not only doing it on the ground, but he's doing it in the air as well. And so when you have a run game that you're actually going to lean on, and hey, if something's not open downfield, and we saw this last night and a couple other games, is just, hey, drop the ball off to your running back. He turns these 2-3 yard checkdowns into big plays, and that's what helps Michael Penix Jr. Obviously, Drake London, he's playing at an extremely high level too. And my offense coordinator Zach Robinson, like, he's doing a really good job. They're finally figuring out what their identity is, and it's early, right? And that's what we expect from a lot of different teams is, hey, once you find your identity, then you build on what you're really good at, and maybe don't worry about your weaknesses and push them to the side. You might want to, handle this. And they know what they are offensively, and it runs through Bijan Robinson, and it just helps Michael Penix, and you've seen him play a lot better because of that.
In the other game last night, you got to look at the top 2 picks in that same draft that Michael Penix Jr. was in 2024. Jaden Daniels, not his best night. He took responsibility for the fumble late. The conditions were weird. It was wet on the field. But I thought, even just from watching, again, you're breaking down tape. I'm not going back through like that. But Caleb's played on national TV a few times now. From what we saw in week 1, where he started out playing on time and then everything was kind of the hero ball, off schedule, stretch it. Last night was the most controlled I felt like I had seen from Caleb Williams. And it would appear, at least to me, that Ben Johnson's having a positive effect. What do you think?
You were absolutely right, because that when I went back and rewatched it, I've actually watched it twice already this morning because I just wanted to get a feel for offensively, one, how Ben Johnson's calling the game, and two, how Caleb Williams is reacting to stuff around him, because I think the Commanders did some things last night that maybe they weren't ready for. But the number one thing that I came around and I'm most impressed with was just Caleb Williams' patience. One, they only threw it 29 times. Okay, so that's where you want Caleb Williams to live, that 29 to 32 pass attempts a game. Because what I really thought the Bears did, and this is going to surprise some people in Chicago, but their offensive game plan when it comes to running the football last night was the best I've seen a Chicago Bears team run the football, from schematically outside zone, inside zone, power, hand the ball off to a receiver. Caleb Williams, touchdown run, how they set that up with the under center play action. So there was true balance. 27 rush attempts, 29 pass attempts. But what I think was so impressive was they also they made everything look the same. So not only are they throwing the football down the field, and sometimes, and he was late, right? He wasn't perfect, but Ben Johnson is also setting up this screen game for Caleb Williams to be balanced. And when you watch Caleb Williams last year, it was like, all right, you have areas of the game where you're throwing it 40 times in a row. It's just like, because they were so bad. This is what type of coaching Caleb Williams needs. And you're starting to see him sort of come out of his shell and really just calm down. And he's not playing in a hurry. He's playing really patient. He's showing a good accuracy on short and intermediate areas. I mean, look, like number 14, when they were backed up, that could have been a 90-yard touchdown. The ball was dropped. And then you take into the elements into effect too. I thought he played really, really well.
Chase Daniel is our guest, ESPN analyst. You can find him all over social media as well. Speaking of coaching, you're in Nashville right now. You're welcome to confirm whether or not you've been brought in to try to help out with Cam Ward here. They make the first head coaching change of the season. This comes 3 weeks after they took away play calling duty from Brian Callahan. It's the worst thing that can be happening, I would think, around a young quarterback, which is just kind of this general chaos right now. If you're looking for two things you'd like to see Mike McCoy and Bo Hardery in this group do with Cam Ward from this point forward to get something out of the remaining 2/3 of his rookie season, what is it?
Well, they just have to figure out what he does best offensively. And you can't ask a rookie quarterback, I don't care who you are, if you're Joe Montana or Patrick Mahomes, you have to have balance. Exactly what we talked about with Caleb Williams. I feel at times they're just dropping Cam Ward back, and I'm looking at the route concepts and the drop back concept that are surrounding him, and it just doesn't make sense to me. And I've played in a lot of different offenses, and they need to bring in what he did well in Miami, which is RPO type stuff. Their receivers have been really, really poor with dropping the football, but you can absolutely see just the growth in Caleb and really the games. Now, he hasn't played well, and that's to be expected. I mean, you can go back and say how many rookie seasons other than Jaden Daniels were just poor. There's a lot. But what he needs to do and what McCoy needs to do and everyone else, they need to get him comfortable, because let's face it, the new head coach you're bringing in, I think you have to have an offensive mind. Like, I would love to see, and I don't know if this can happen, but I'd love to see like a Joe Brady type guy, like go in there and really, because Cam Ward, I mean, make no mistake about it, he is absolutely the quarterback of the future, in my opinion, based on what I'm seeing on film. You get someone that brings that balance like Joe Brady, and they get a good run game. I think their offensive line has played a little bit better than people have probably thought. And they're not that far away. It's just, here's the deal. If I'm the Titans, you got to figure out what the heck you're doing, because you fire, you hire, you let go of Vrabel, and it's just the ownership and the GM and everyone like that. They just don't know what they want. You have to pick and stick with a guy that you trust that is going to get the best out of Cam Ward.
Real quick here, Chase, we only got about 60 seconds left here. Anybody else right now, you're watching all these quarterbacks every week. Anybody we're not talking about enough that you think is playing at a really high level right now?
Well, I mean, look, it's Dak Prescott, and I know we talk about him because he's the Cowboys, but like I just broke him down on my YouTube channel. The dude is not making like any mistakes. Like, I'm not looking at any overthrows. I'm not looking at any misthrows. They're just having to score 40 points to win. like the what Dak Prescott is doing right now, not only on the field, like actually doing it and throwing the football, but from a mind game, like he's playing chess out there when other defenses are playing checkers. He has to be absolutely perfect because that defense is so bad for them to be in games, and it's just unfortunate because that offense with Brian Schottenheimer, man, it is rolling. I don't know truly if there's a quarterback right now that's playing better than Dak Prescott.
Fantastic stuff as always, Chase. Again, see him on ESPN, hear him on Scoop City, see him on he's everywhere, and thankfully he's here with me as well. Chase, thanks a lot, buddy. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.